Yesterday, Centene Corporation, the major healthcare insurer, released its earnings, and their stock jumped 14% in a single day. Now, if you have been following this channel, you know this is not the first time I've talked about Centene. Over the past year, I've covered this company a couple of times. It first came onto my radar during the healthcare insurer stock crash last summer. Back then, pretty much every healthcare insurer stock was selling off hard. So I did my analysis, I explained why I believed the stock was significantly undervalued, and why the market reaction didn't make much sense from the long-term perspective. And based on that conviction, I started building a sizable position, not just in Centene, but in a couple of other healthcare insurers as well. Fast forward to today, and now that Centene position is up more than 75% in less than a year. So naturally, I started thinking, is it still a good investment, or is it time to take profits and run? Now, to answer that, in this video we'll take a quick look at what Centene reported, we'll go through the company's key financials, and of course we'll calculate its intrinsic value to see what the stock could be actually worth today. Before we dive in, if you would like to follow my investments more closely or discuss stocks like this, come join our Discord community, because if you join now, it will be completely free for life. The link is in the description. And now, back to the video. Alright, so let's start by breaking down the earnings, because this is what really moved the stock. Starting with revenue, Centene reported almost $50 billion, which is up over 7% year over year, and is above expectations of $47.5 billion. Now, earnings, this is where Centene really stands out. Their adjusted earnings came in at $3.37, which is a 16% increase year over year, and a huge beat compared to the $2.13 estimated. So clearly, the company is outperforming expectations on both top and bottom lines. But the most important metric in these earnings is the health benefits ratio. In simple terms, it tells us how much of their revenue goes to paying medical claims. Basically, the lower this number, the more profitable the company is. And that came in at 87.3%, which is slightly better than last year, and well below expectations of 89.3%. Now you might be thinking, wait, but that's only 2%. But in reality, this is a big change when it comes to healthcare insurers. And this is key, because last year, rising medical costs pushed this number higher and crushed margins. But as I said in my previous videos, these type of cost pressures are usually temporary. Basically, insurance companies can reprice their plans, and over time profitability comes back. And now we're starting to see exactly that. Now, if we look briefly at segments, government programs are still driving growth. Medicaid was up 6% and Medicare jumped 18%. But the commercial business actually declined, and total memberships fell about 6%. Still, despite fewer members, profitability improved. Net earnings increased and operating cash flows jumped to $4.4 billion, showing the company is coming back to the higher efficiency. And finally, guidance. Management now expects over $3.40 in adjusted EPS for 2026, which is up from $3 before. And on top of that, they raised their revenue guidance to around $190 billion. Now just think, if they do that $3.40 in EPS and continue trading at this $50 price range, that would basically be them trading at a 15 price earnings ratio. And keep in mind, the company is just beginning to rebound. So all in all, the quarter looks strong. But to really understand this investment, let's zoom out. Let's go back and look at the financials. Let's see why I like the company and what made me buy it last year. So this is Centene, currently trading at around $50, and even though we see that it has been on a rebound lately, it is still down almost 50% since its all-time high in August 2022. Now, their last 12-month PE ratio is still negative, however, their forward PE ratio is expected to go back to 15, which is exactly what we saw in their guidance. They have a low return on invested capital, which we don't love to see, but they have negative debt. Basically, they could pay off all of their debt and still have around $5 billion left. This gives a lot of safety to the company, because basically they have a lot of money if in the near future the issues continue. Now looking at their revenue over the last 10 years, we see it has been growing aggressively, as it went from 37 billion in 2016 all the way up to 176 billion last year, basically 5xing along the way. Now net income shows a similar picture. Basically it was growing pretty much every year despite 21 and 22, but then we see this huge drop last year when they actually lost 6.6 billion. And honestly, this is nothing unexpected. We already knew about this. If we would ignore this 2025, we see the picture is actually fairly stable and growing. Now let's compare that with free cash flow. And this is the thing we like to see, because actually free cash flow last year was positive. And free cash flow actually represents the company's profitability a bit better. So while free cash flow is a bit more all over the place, we still see a fairly positive trend over the years. Now this is a graph of Centene shares outstanding, and as you can see, from 2016 to 2021 they have been issuing shares fairly heavily, basically diluting your share of the company. We see this huge spike in 2020, but this was due to an acquisition, and the thing we like to see is the fact that since 2022 they have started to buy back their shares, and actually they're doing that fairly aggressively, as they bought back almost 20% of their shares outstanding in just 4 years. Finally, these are analyst predictions for Centene. For revenue, analysts predict Centene's revenue to dip this year, but then go back to growing at fairly slow around 2% rates over the next 4 years. Now for net income, analysts predict that Centene's profitability will grow every year, going back to all-time highs in 5 years. And looking at earnings per share, the picture is pretty much identical as net income, with analysts expecting Centene to reach around $10 per share in EPS in year 2030. Now let's do some simple maths. Let's say that the analysts are right and Centene's earnings per share will be at around $10 in 2030. Now on top of that, let's say that in 2030 Centene will be trading at 15 price to earnings ratio, which is nothing exuberant and is usually considered as the market average. With just this simple calculation, in 2030 Centene's stock would be priced at $150, and its current price is $50. Basically, that would mean that it's a 3x in just 5 years, which does sound fairly attractive. So overall, when we zoom out, the story hasn't really changed. Centene still has a strong balance sheet with plenty of cash, the business is still growing over time despite short-term volatility, and they have started to return capital to shareholders with share buybacks. On top of that, looking forward, analyst expectations are that profitability should gradually return to normal levels over the next few years. So fundamentally, this is still the same business I liked last year. And now the real question is, has the stock already priced all of that in? Let's try to answer that by calculating the intrinsic value. Okay, so let's put in the ticker symbol, which is CNC. Let's get the current price, and I want to do a few analysis based on their EPS. And since their EPS was highly skewed due to last year's issues, I will do my assumptions from the EPS they did in 2024, which was $6.30. Now let's start with a pessimistic assumption. And let's say that for the next 5 years, Centene's EPS will drop at 5% annually. And then for the 5 years after that, it will stay flat. Let's do a normal expected return or a discount rate of 10%, and since the company will not be growing, let's give them a terminal multiple of 10, and let's click calculate. And even with these pessimistic assumptions, with decreasing earnings per share for the next 5 years and flat for the 5 years after that, and only trading at a 10 terminal multiple, we still see that Centene could deliver 10% annualized returns, as the intrinsic value would be $51, while the current market price is below $50. Now let's adjust our estimates to a bit more positive ones. Let's say that their EPS will not shrink and stay flat, and after the first 5 years they will start growing at 2%. Now let's also say that their terminal multiple will expand to 12, and let's click calculate. Suddenly the stock seems highly undervalued, so let's try to find the actual price. Let's try 15, calculate, still undervalued. How about 16? Calculate. Okay, Yeah, pretty much there. So even with these fairly flat numbers of 0 growth for the next 5 years and only 2% growth for the 5 years after that, and only a 12 terminal multiple, we could expect a 16% annualized return. Now what happens if they would grow at 5% for the second 5 years and their terminal multiple would expand to 15? Let's click calculate and let's try to find the expected return. Would it be 20? A bit overvalued. How about 19? Yeah, pretty much there. So what did we find about Centene? At the end of the day, this is a business that hasn't fully turned around yet, but it is clearly moving in the right direction. The biggest issue last year were the rising medical costs, and now we're starting to see those pressures stabilize. Margins are improving, earnings are beating expectations, and the overall trend is getting better. And when we combine that with valuation, in my opinion, things still look interesting. Because even using fairly conservative assumptions, it seems like the stock would still deliver around 10% annualized returns over the next decade. And if things go a bit better, you could be looking at something closer to 20% annualized returns. So in my opinion, there is still upside here. But it's also not risk-free, because the turnaround isn't complete yet. Costs could move up again, membership trends could stay weak, and that would directly impact profitability. So basically, this is not a perfect clean story. This is a recovery story that is starting to play out but is not finished yet. So what am I doing? Right now, I'm sticking to my position. I'm not selling, but I'm also not buying more. And that is simply because my position is already fairly large. If I didn't own the stock already, I wouldn't see a problem in starting a position at these levels. Because in my opinion, the risk-reward still looks attractive. That said, please don't trust my words blindly, please do your own due diligence. Now if you're interested in other stocks that I have been buying recently, and that I also believe have strong return potentials, you should be able to see 2 videos somewhere on the screen or in the description down below. Now if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and leaving a like, come to our Discord channel and say hi, and as always guys, thank you for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.